Guys, in yesterday's video, I issued a big warning saying that we were going to get rejected off of my red line here at the top of the orange box. And today I am going to talk about what I think is going to happen next for Bitcoin. Are we going to continue? Are we going to see an even bigger rejection right here? Maybe potentially down to the $40,000 level or below? Or are we going to continue the prolonged uptrend we've had here and break through this red line and have a massive pop towards the upside? Today, guys, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to show you some very interesting charts. I'm going to show you what's happening behind the scenes, stuff you need to know right now, because you are about to see a big rotation from Bitcoin into another coin, and you can already see that the euphoria is starting. A Bitcoin price of $500,000 in this cycle, guys. We have so much to talk about today, guys. So welcome back, everybody. My name is Chris, bringing you cryptocurrency videos every day, teaching you how to make money in this market. If you're new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe and activate the bell right now. So let's get straight into it here, guys. And as you know, in yesterday's video, I did warn you about us getting rejected off of the top of the red line right here, the top of the orange box. And I got a lot of messages from people that actually shorted at this level and made a lot of money. Now, I wouldn't short personally, because there's still that chance that we could still, break through this, especially now that we have already went up. We had one rejection right here. The first time we tried to break through it, we did see a pullback of about 2.5%. This was actually from 42,200. So it was about $1,000 pullback. And then another big green candle. We actually reached above this point, but then immediately got pulled back down again. And this was also another, I would say, almost, more or less $1,000 here on this pullback as well. So here's the thing. Why did I think that we were going to see a pullback right here? Well, it's very simple. We were approaching the edge of my orange box, even with a red line, which is a very significant point of resistance. It's the same thing that we saw right here, right? When we went up into the orange box, we did have a pullback, second time pullback, third time pullback. And then right here, I was starting to say that now is finally the time in which we're not going to see a pullback, and instead we are going to see us break through it. And that is when we went up, we made this support, and then we did have this pump and we did meet resistance right here, but then eventually we pumped above it. So as you know, I flipped my thesis right here on this orange box from having a rejection every single time we went into it to the point in which we were going to break through it. Now, am I at the same point right here? When I said that I think that now is the time to break through this orange box, do I think that now is the time to break through the orange box right now? Honestly, I don't think so. I think that we're gonna consolidate for a little bit longer below this red line. Now, granted, this is considering all the information we have at hand right now, because there's also an X factor, and that is the fact that gold spiked up so hard yesterday. And the reason why gold spiked up, we don't really know. I made some speculations in yesterday's video, but if there is truly something that's going on in the macroeconomic environment, and we just do not know that. Once that gets revealed, that could lead into a massive pump for Bitcoin. Or maybe people know something that we do not know in terms of the ETF. Well, we can already kind of assume that it's going to get approved in January, but maybe someone has 100% accurate information that it is going to get approved. And maybe those are the people that are loading up increasingly here as well, even at these higher prices. Now, from a risk to reward standpoint, as you know, I've been screaming out of the top of my lungs from $16,000 since basically we went into, well, there were 2 points I've been screaming out of the top of my lungs. The first time is when we went into my orange box down here at $16,000. Why? Because just like my orange boxes are resistance on the way up, my orange boxes are also support on the way down. So they typically hold up the Bitcoin price. And this is on the weekly time frame. For many weeks, it held up the Bitcoin price right here. So this was the first time where we started to load up heavily. Now, the second time, basically I was loading up right here at $22,000. And then also loading up, this was a very good opportunity, because also this was a massive shift. When we went down to $20,000 here, it was coinciding with, bullish momentum here. And this is where we started to get kind of the hint that ETF was going to come sooner rather than later, right? Right here at $20,000 at this orange box. So from a fundamental standpoint and from a technical standpoint, it made sense to get in at this support level right here. So let's go where we are at right now. understand that the Bitcoin price is not longer at $16,000. It's no longer at $20,000 or even $30,000. It is currently at $42,000, which is significantly higher than these prices I talked about previously. So if you're getting in at this point, especially as we are right below this resistance, it holds more risk to you. Now, if you're just gonna hold for 5 years, 10 years, whatever, I do still think that you're gonna end up in profit on that position even if you buy right here. In fact, after the ETF, I also think that we're gonna pump. But yeah, of course, it gives you more risk to get in right now compared to at $16,000 and $20,000. So you have to keep that in consideration, that we could, and a dump of 10% and 15% is just around the corner. So I would urge you to be cautious at these prices, guys. Not for the long term, but if you're looking for a short swing trade, you just want to ride 10% towards the upside, I would be cautious because there's gonna be choppy action as well. And yes, in general, we're gonna trend upwards, but especially here below this resistance, and potentially someone knows something we do not know, and potentially someone is loading up in insane amounts of Bitcoin. But the higher we go, of course, the higher the risks of you being stuck. And for me, guys, as you know, I'm using my trading strategies right here, and this is also for everyone that are using these. If you see a dump of 10% in one single candle, or even 7%, or worst case, maybe we see 15%, 20%, these bots are going to accumulate on the way down. You're gonna get a decent average cost for those positions, but you might have to hold that position for quite a while until we come up and take profit. So if you, and for me, as I've been saying all along, I am fine with holding Bitcoin. If we see a drop and these trading strategies accumulates a position, I am fine with holding those. I have no fear at all about that. In fact, that's just a good thing for me, that I'm buying the dip. But that is something that you need to be aware of if you're using these trading strategies as well, is that if you do see a straight red candle towards the downside, the positions are going to accumulate, and you might have to hold that position for a little while in order to take profit. Same for Ethereum. In fact, for Ethereum is even more volatile. So even more likely for Ethereum that you will be stuck holding positions, which we have done several times on the channel, guys. As you know, for some time we've been holding these positions for weeks until they have taken profit finally. So just be aware of that. And of course, watch my trading tutorial at the top of the description in order to understand exactly how these bots work, and then everything you need to know, of course. Now, another worrying thing is that the traditional markets, after having this pump yesterday, traditional markets, or the last few days, traditional markets have been going down, and we are now approaching my red line again on traditional markets. So you can see that we found support right here. We find support here, kind of here as well, but now we're going down, and the question is, are we going to find support for like a 6th or 5th time here? The more times we hit this point, the less strong this is getting. So this is getting weaker and weaker for every time we're hitting this. Just like the same thesis right here. For every time that we hit this orange box up here, it was getting weaker and weaker, and you can see the pullbacks were getting, higher and higher. We were getting higher and higher pullbacks. So things were looking more and more bullish. But in this case, things would potentially, well, the good thing is that we still have the trend intact of making higher highs, and we still have the trend intact of, well, more or less making higher lows as well. So this is, on the macro scale, a good thing. But yeah, if you come down to this level again, you want this to hold, guys. If this doesn't hold for traditional markets, again, a pullback for Bitcoin, 15, 10%, 5% is going to happen. So you need to be prepared for that. So buy the dip opportunity. Now the pullback could take us down to the edge of this orange box, or it could take us down to, any of these points, down to the top of this one or the bottom of this one. So these are the most logical points right now if we do see a major pullback. So I just want to prepare you for that. I'm not going to be one of those guys that were bearish down at these levels at 16, 20K, even bearish right here. And then they started to flip yesterday as we got up here, and they started to say, yeah, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. I will always tell you what I think is going to happen here. And as much as I want to be euphoric here and if we do see a Bitcoin ETF approved, yes, we're going to shoot through this. We're going to be at $50,000, $60,000 within, a very short time span. But for now, I cannot, comfortably say that if you buy Bitcoin right below this massive resistance with traditional markets going down towards this support as well, if we hold this, then that's perfect, but we still have some ways down to go. I cannot comfortably say that I think for sure that we are going to be at $45,000 in 5 days or $45,000 in 3 days, right? So until I think that that is a likely scenario, well, then I'm going to share it with you. But as always, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. As much as I would love to just pump the hopium right now and say that Bitcoin is going to be, at these price points within a few days, I think it's more likely that we have some more pullbacks, some more consolidation inside of this orange box at least. And yes, that is going to also mean pullbacks for the bots here. And yeah, if you're using these bots, you need to be aware of that. Now, let's talk about the bots themselves. So they continue to make a lot of profit here as Bitcoin is going sideways and Bitcoin is going up in general. We now have 4 out of the 6 bots are all above 100%, which is absolutely fantastic. And even these ones are, approaching 80%, and soon they are also going to be at 100%, I believe. So that is fantastic for the bots on OKX. The bots on, and these have been running for, let me see here, since the 20th of August. So about a little bit more than 3 months, I would say. Now for my BitGet bots, they have been running for less than 1 month, and they are up 50% almost on this one, 65 on this, almost 50 on this one. So they also continue to do very, very well. So for everyone that joined, when we started these ones up this 27th of, 27 days ago, you are sitting at massive profits. In fact, my subscribers have now made more profit than I have, which is absolutely fantastic. In terms of individuals, you can see Steph 66 here has made $3,500. Adrian, who used to be the number 1 here, have made $2,700. So I guess Steph is just trading with more size. So that is absolutely fantastic. Now, as you know, these were filled pretty quickly, and BitGet have allowed me to have a second account. Now, the slots are quickly filling up here, and they actually increased it to 300 people. So I'm hoping that they can also increase these ones to 750 eventually. But if you see this is full for some reason, because I think also we're going to reach the limit of 300 people today. If it is full, then make sure to send emails to BitGet support to try to get them to increase this to 750. So that's the way that we can do it. And yes, right now we do have still about 144 spots left. So if you want to join, you can do so using the links in the description. I will show you right now. So if you want to join OKX, this is the easiest ones actually. If you're allowed to use OKX in your country, then go down to the description right here, claim up to $60,000 by clicking on this link, click join now. And then you join, and then with one click you set up each and every one of these bots right here. If you want to use BitGet, then first sign up to BitGet so you're eligible for the bonuses. If you don't sign up first, you're not going to get the bonuses. So click on this link, sign up, get eligible for the bonuses, and then these bots are already full. But you do have on this link below only a few slots left. These are exactly the same bots, the same settings. The only thing is that they were started yesterday, and in just 1 day, less than 1 day, most of them have already made some decent profits right here. So you click subscribe up here. It will cost you 10 USDT just to filter out the people that are subscribing for free and not trading, because it fills up all of the slots. This is the only way I can prevent people from filling up all of the slots. I want to give the actual traders the opportunity to use this, and then click on any of these links if you want to use the bots here. So that is how you use them. You can also use Bybit, by the way, guys. If you want to use these bots on Bybit, click here, sign up to $30,000, and then go up and click on this link. My trading video is going to show you exactly how to use this on Bybit as well. Now let's continue and talk about the ETF, because BlackRock and Bitwise have filed amendments. So they are talking with the SEC right now. They're talking about what they need to do to file for these ETFs to be approved. And the SEC is collaborating with them, telling them what they need to do in order for these ETFs to be approved in January. So that's good. And in fact, some sources from within the SEC is claiming that it's not even 99% sure that they are going to get approved. It's more than 99% sure that the ETFs are going to get approved in January. And what you're already starting to potentially see is the institution starts to shift from Bitcoin to Ethereum, because of course, once the Bitcoin ETF is approved, the next one will be the Ethereum ETF. So if you missed the massive move for Bitcoin, well, you could still see something crazy for Ethereum. So potentially you're starting to see the institutions shifting from Bitcoin a little bit to Ethereum as you see the open interest and the premium increase on CME for Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. And the euphoria is starting to really get out of hand here. Okay, this article is locked, but some analysts are predicting $500,000. This has been reported on Bloomberg. So you can see the euphoria is starting to take off here as well. And finally, I want to show you that FTX are selling Solana right now like crazy. They're selling a lot of Solana. They're transferring more and more to exchanges. So they are taking advantage of these higher prices for Solana. So yeah, just take note of that you're still seeing some selling pressure for Solana, some overhead selling pressure. Guys, if you want to also use the best trading toolkit available out there, Lux Algo, you get 20% off if you use this link right here. As you know, this is the best trading toolkit in my opinion, and this is something I use regularly on the channel as well. So make sure to take advantage of this discount if you want to use this. Guys, that is what I got for you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.